Hi hearties, welcome back to the Teacup Trail. We are on episode 4 of season 7. Not a lot of things happen in regards to the love triangle in this episode, but there are very few scenes that I still want to talk about. In my opinion, I think this episode escalated the love triangle to a new level. Like, it's so obvious right now in front of Nathan, Lucas, and Elizabeth. Like, they are aware that there's something going on between these three people. The first scene I'm going to show you first is pretty awkward in general. It's definitely show to viewers that a love triangle is there, and Elizabeth is getting more aware of it. I think at the point she already know, like, Nathan or Lucas. But I still don't think she's there yet, like, mentally, as in, like, taking a romantic interest in one of these two guys. But I think she is aware already that there is a love triangle right in front of her eyes.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
What are you doing here?
Well, it's such a beautiful day, thought I would take a walk and return your latest chapters.
Good morning, Mrs. Thornton.
Good morning, Anna. Thank you for bringing these.
My pleasure. Now, I'm very excited, Emma.
Morning.
Good morning, Emily. Sorry,
It's okay.
you were saying?
I'm excited about the dynamics between them.
Good morning, Robert.
Morning.
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 Good morning, Allie. Hello.
Hello.
I should probably start school.
Right.
Bye.
Lucas failed to talk to Elizabeth more about the book. The students kept interrupting the conversation. And here comes Nathan and Allie. And I'm starting to believe that every time Nathan goes to school with Allie, I truly believe that Nathan takes the opportunity to drop or pick up Allie at school, just only not for Allie, but just to see Elizabeth and get to see her more often and get more chances to talk to her, even just for a short minute. I think it was pretty obvious that Nathan wanted to talk to Elizabeth, but Lucas was already there. And the awkwardness came, and you know that the love triangle exists. Like, we already know, but it's more aware now between these three characters. Like, Lucas and Nathan have, like, looking back at each other, and Elizabeth don't know what to do, don't know what to say. A good safe call for Elizabeth. She said she needs to go back inside and start the school day. And then the very end, she said bye. That made us even more awkward, and those guys are just like, bye to me or to both of us. She didn't say the name, so apparently she meant both guys. Try to keep it even. And the look on her face after she closed the door, that totally confirmed that she knows that two guys are competing for her attention. Yeah.
Nathan.
Elizabeth. Oh, Allie told me about Opal.
I'm a little concerned about Mrs. McCormick and some of the other elderly out of town. I think they should be alerted, just in case.
You're right. I'll get on it right away.
Thank you.
That's a lot of land to cover. It'll take you all day. I'd be more than happy to cover half.
That's very kind of you, Lucas.
Yeah. Meet me in front of the jail in 15 minutes.
Great. Elizabeth? How's little Jack doing?
He's healthy. Thank you for asking.
Any plans for your time off school?
Just spending the whole time with my son. Reading and playing and cuddling. A lot of cuddling.
That sounds wonderful. For both of you.
Well, there's nothing quite like unconditional love.
You deserve nothing less. I should get ready.
Remember when Lucas interrupted Nathan and Elizabeth's conversation earlier this season when more books arrived for the library? That was a little bit impolite, a little bit rude in my opinion, but this time around he interrupted Nathan and Elizabeth's conversation again, but in a more nicer, a little bit more polite way. He didn't really cut the conversation. He of course overheard the conversation about Nathan going out of town and alerting the elderlies. He offered help to Nathan, and I think that's truly from his heart. I mean, he could have not offered help at all. He could have just cut the conversation and just really start talking to Elizabeth and ignore Nathan, right? But he did not. He joined their conversation and offered help to Nathan, and Elizabeth complimented Lucas, and the look that Lucas gave to Elizabeth, he just enjoying the compliment, the sweet compliment from the woman that he likes. And Nathan sees it too, and he's like, oh boy, here we go again. A little bit jealous there, a little bit from Nathan. Nathan accepted the help from Lucas. I think that's a good thing. I mean, you don't want to have drama in the love triangle in front of the leading lady. And then Lucas and Elizabeth had a moment to themselves for a bit. And this is the third time that Lucas acknowledged Jack. I mean, there were times where he acknowledged little Jack at the grand opening of the library. But I'm talking about when he greet little Jack, or when he asked about how little Jack doing. And it's really thoughtful of him to ask Elizabeth how little Jack doing with this outbreak of the chicken pox in this episode. One of the famous and important quotes by Lucas Bouchard, unconditional love. Between Elizabeth and Lucas, Elizabeth know what it's like to be a parent. And Lucas, he doesn't have a kid yet. He doesn't really know how to be a father just yet. And Elizabeth is speaking from her experience of being a mom. And in return, Lucas said, you deserve nothing less. And it's got to Elizabeth's heart. She's just wow. It hit her so deep. And I think this is the first time she realized that there's something special about Lucas. But I don't think she liked him just yet. But I think she's starting to realize that there's something unique, something special about Lucas. And what he just said to her in this scene, it means so much to her. And I think she's starting to realize that, oh, maybe this guy, Lucas, is better than I thought. He actually a good man. She knows he's a good friend, but on another level, she started to realize that, okay, maybe he's a good guy. He can be potentially a good man in the relationship, in general. So I think that line that Lucas told her about unconditional love, it touched her heart deeply, and I think this is the first time she realized that there's something beautiful about Lucas. There's something that she's still trying to find out and figure out about him, in a good way.
You're late.
You said 15.
20 minutes ago.
You're always such a stickler.
I am when it's my time you're wasting.
My apologies.
Listen, Lucas, we both know why you volunteered for this.
You're not the only one who cares about this town.
The town?
Yeah.
Well, the town is not here right now, so if you'd like to bow out, now's your chance.
I'm a man of my word.
Okay. You take that road, I'm gonna take this one. Lucas, despite our mutual feelings for the town, I appreciate the help.
Lucas has like a different perspective than Nathan. Nathan thinks that Lucas offered help because of Elizabeth. He wants to show off, he wants to show Elizabeth that he's a good guy and that he is very kind and cares about Hope Valley and just want to like show off. That's what Nathan thinks why Lucas offered to help Nathan. On the other end, Lucas was like, I'm actually helping the town out of the goodness of my heart. Like, Hope Valley been really good to me. Like, I've been enjoying life in Hope Valley, and in return, he wanted to be a good neighbor, a good citizen. I mean, he could have not offered help to Nathan, but he did. So there's like two conflicting perspectives with these two guys in this scene. I think Nathan is still jealous of having a competition in this love triangle. Of course he wishes just him and Elizabeth, but he is aware that there's something going on between Lucas and Elizabeth. Like, they're getting closer to each other and they talk with one another at the same time that Elizabeth talked to Nathan, but most of the time that Nathan talked to Elizabeth, mostly about Allie. So Nathan had this jealousy and he assumed that everything that Lucas does is just to impress Elizabeth.
Nathan!
Elizabeth, I've alerted everyone in the area.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's part of my job.
I was looking for Allie. Have you seen her anywhere?
Did you check the fishing hole?
First place I looked.
I told her to be back at 3:30. Is there anything I could do for you?
I just have her homework.
Oh, you can leave that on my desk. I'll make sure she gets it.
Great. So, where are you going?
I'm just taking him up to the livery. I'm heading to Buxton tomorrow.
Oh, what's in Buxton?
I'm checking out this whole oil mess for Gowan.
Are you? I am so glad you're helping him.
Really? I've just heard stories that he's not always on the up and up.
Maybe the old Henry. But people do change, Nathan.
Yeah, so you keep saying.
Again, another conversation about Allie in the scene between Elizabeth and Nathan. Nathan seemed to be happy that he helped Elizabeth. Part of my job, sure, like you did it for Elizabeth too. The conversation shifted over to Henry, and Elizabeth knows everyone in Hope Valley, and her telling Nathan about Henry that basically she told him that Henry is not as bad as he used to be, and she reminded him that people do change, and that reminded Nathan of his father's situation, that his father was once a bad man, but now he's not. And that cut deep into his heart too. In this scene, he's like, you're right, Elizabeth, you can't assume someone as it is. Don't judge a book by its cover, basically what Elizabeth trying to tell Nathan. It's really nice that Nathan is listening to Elizabeth, even though he already have this assumption about Henry, he still listen to Elizabeth and what she needs to say about Henry, because Elizabeth knows Henry personally. She's been in Hope Valley for a long time now, enough to know Henry and what he went through. Nathan listen to her, have that open mind.
I need to make something clear. I'm an honest businessman. I realize what you did wasn't illegal, but it was borderline unethical.
Borderline unethical. Who decides that? Is that you? The judge, he interprets the law, but you decide what's unethical?
Henry, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
We are a major employer in this valley. If we go under, people go hungry. It was us or them.
Well, that's a line that needs to be drawn somewhere. So tell me, where is it drawn for you?
I'll tell you when we get there.
I'm really glad you were able to help Henry.
You know, your loyalty to your friends is very admirable.
But
No but, just an observation.
Honestly, the honest words coming from his heart. He literally just told Henry, like, I don't play games. I don't want to take the high road and do some stupid action in managing and running this oil business. I don't want to get in trouble. Lucas is being straight up honest with Henry. Good for him. I just want to show that side of Lucas. Like, he doesn't play games. Like, you think he's a gambler and steal money and do crazy things. He's not that. And he knows that he can get in trouble with Henry, and he's just trying to make sure that Henry does this business in a legal way. No shortcut, no bad dealing, no illegal stuff that shouldn't be happening. And it's really interesting how he looked over to Nathan and Elizabeth, and he is aware that there's a love triangle too. Like, he is aware that Nathan is trying to win Elizabeth's heart as well. So I think when he looked over to Elizabeth and Nathan, he remembers that Elizabeth doesn't want to get involved in another dangerous situation like she did in season 6. Nathan and Elizabeth walking together. Nathan complimented her, saying that she is very loyal to her friends, and it speaks high volume of who Elizabeth is. She is loyal to her friends. She is a great friend, a great citizen, a great teacher, a great mom. She's like the new Abigail in a way. Like, no one can replace Abigail, but Elizabeth reminds me of Abigail in some ways, and it's a nice compliment from Nathan to Elizabeth. She sees the good in people, and Nathan admired that, and he admired that she is loyal and she is honest to herself and to her friends. Until next time, I hope you're having a great weekend. I won't see you on Wednesday, so it'll be next Sunday with episode 5 of season 7. A lot of things are still yet to happen in this season. I can't wait to talk about it. And again, I do believe that what these scenes that we talk about definitely escalated the love triangle to another level. But I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time on Sunday. Bye.